and just like networking and everything else, literally started watching Domorex, started watching Vortex and Mintley and everybody, and just networking that way and making friends, and then went to Card Party and met my team from now Domorex, and jumped into it there and was offered to join the team, and that's that really.
Yeah. So did you start streaming on Whatnot, or where did you get your streaming start?
Pokemon wise, started streaming on Whatnot. I've streamed on Twitch before, played video games for fun, shoot the whatever with friends, all that kind of crazy stuff. But Pokemon wise, started on Whatnot.
Oh, nice. And then, so you started with your doing your own thing. Now you started on Domorex. So what is it? You're coming up about a year with them, or how long? Yeah. Oh, that's
it's been
so
roughly
cool.
a year. Yeah, vending we've been doing about 8 months. Streaming with Domorex specifically, it's probably been about 8 or 9 months.
How many people are part of
a year already? June. Oh my god, it has been that long.
Wow.
He's saying it's been almost a year, so I didn't think it was that long.
9 months, July we started. First show was like July.
I guess it has almost been a year. Time flies.
Wow. So how do you find the time to do all the things that you do? I mean, like you're working, you're vending, you're streaming. How frequently are you streaming?
Stream roughly 4 days a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Wow.
And then still working at the hospital, doing nursing every other weekend. And then he does vending every weekend, and then I come with him to vend every other weekend. So it's jam-packed.
Oh my gosh. And then John's also working full time. I'm just like, and there's children. I mean, like you guys make me feel lazy, because I worked with Death Metal Charizard in a show in Massachusetts this past weekend, and you guys came all the way up, and I'm just like, the 3-hour drive for me, when I got home, it was like 10:30. I was just like, I don't even know if they're home yet. And I took my time. We're hanging out for a while after the show, but I'm like, this is what they do every single weekend. It's wild.
I think we got home around 12:45 in the morning, like next day.
Oh my gosh.
I looked at him and I was like, I'm unloading the car tomorrow morning. I was like, I'm letting the dogs out, and I'm done.
Oh my god, you guys have dogs too? I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm like, literally, I was like, we're taking the slab cases in, locking the car, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I still have stuff in my car. I was just like, I got home and I just like dragged myself in the door and like said hi to my husband and my dog, and I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. I also had work on Monday morning. I was just like, this is not real. But it was great. It was a great show, first show in Massachusetts, and it was a smaller show than I'm used to, but it was really great. The community is going to grow very, very fast over there. It was a lot of people's first time show.
I was going to say, like, how many people came up to everyone and was like, man, like, we've never had anything like this, and it's our first time doing this, and like, what do we do? And
yeah,
it was good.
That's what I'm really excited for him, like, to grow in that area, because there were a lot of people that responded to the ads and the Facebook groups, and they were just like, all right, we're going to check it out. And they weren't afraid, which is something that was great, because a lot of people, when they come, I guess if they've seen card shows before, it could be a little intimidating, just because everyone does the vendor POVs and everyone's like an influencer, celebrity on YouTube, and you're kind of like scared, and you go into this room and it's really big, and like, are they going to try and rip me off? But there, I think people were going in blind, so they had no other choice but to have fun. I mean, like, that was the least my it's whatever is going to happen.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, because I mean, and driving that far away from home, I mean, we're used to it. I mean, I worked a 12-hour day, and we turned around and drove 12 hours to Chicago Collecticon.
Oh my
I just loved the whole entire way, but I'm like, doing a trip like that, and up here we're like, it's a new area, and like, it's scary, and like, it's new for you guys, and it's new for them. It's still new for us, but I mean, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So how do you feel about Collecticon versus doing a smaller show, or even like a medium, larger show like New Jersey TCG show? What's your favorite kind of show to do?
Personally, I like when I'm vending, like to do the smaller shows. I feel like there's more time and it's easier to connect with people and talk with people. And where I think the Collecticon, especially like if it is someone's first show, is like the hustle and bustle, and it is overwhelming. But like to do a smaller show like that, like I feel like you can take more time, get to know your clients, get to know the cards they want to find, and just everything else. And it's just more of a personal experience. Not saying Collecticon's not, but like Collecticon for me, like I walk in still and I'm just like, I'm still in shell shock. And I'm just like, I'm just this awkward thing, like, and I don't know how to function in public. And so like for me, even on my own comfort level, I prefer like the smaller shows as well.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to Collecticon New Jersey last year just because they sold out of VIP, and I knew the line was going to be crazy, and I was just like, it's going to be hot. I'm an indoor cat.
Stand outside.
I was like, I don't want to stand in that line. And then I heard about the line, and I was like, okay, thank God we made the right choice. So yeah, this year Collecticon New Jersey, it sold out in like a microsecond. It's insane. So are you guys going to be doing Collecticon New Jersey, or are you skipping it?
There's 2 New Jerseys this year, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that's right. So the one that's going to come up in July. Do you guys have
it in July, aren't we? We're doing that one.
Yeah. John, oh yeah.
I'm like, what's our schedule? He is so much the scheduler. I'm like, let me know when to have my go bag ready and when I need to be in the car.
You're just the one that's always paranoid if we paid yet or not, because and then you ask me, I don't know. So much shit. I paid for so many shows. It's like,
I'm just like, what shows this weekend? And he's just like, hang on, let me scroll back through the Venmo.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I need to figure out.
Yeah, especially people that are coming from out of state and like have maybe never done my show. And if they're sending me a Venmo or something like that, I'm like, I know it's a lot of money to send a complete stranger, but I promise I'm legit. I feel bad because I mean, like and you have to book them so far out. I mean, I don't remember when you exactly booked your table for the first show that you did with us, but it was probably at least 2-3 months before.
I think so.
Yeah. And so when I'm asking people for money, I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, like this is just how it's going. But it all works out. Right now we have a show coming up in 2 weeks, and then we have we're going to end up doing monthly shows for the rest of the year, which is crazy for me because we started out doing like every 3 months, then it was every 2 months, and then just this past year everything exploded. So we're going to monthly, and it's fun. I get to meet a lot of new people, a lot of people who are new to the hobby, a lot of people who are new to vending to the area. So what attracted you to come to New Jersey? I
think what initially was New Jersey Collecticon.
Oh, really?
Like just in general, like a lot of the people we did meet, not even from your shows, but like just in general, just like the whole vibe and the way the market is and the people are, and just the ample amount of cards New Jersey has, like even compared to Maryland. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like when we go to New Jersey, I'm like, I see stuff that I don't see in Maryland, that I don't see in Pennsylvania, that just the market's entirely different in New Jersey than it is in our tri-state area.
Do you think it's a higher end? Is it more ponchos and more Black Stars and more Beckett?
I think it depends on the day, but I do think it is a lot higher market too there. You see a lot of higher stuff that you normally don't see at a lot of other places.
Do you find that when you're on stream, are you trying to, are you selling higher end things, or is it more lower end singles, mid-range singles? What are you selling most of?
We do like try to drop. Our chat, if they want something and they ask me for it and I find it vending, absolutely sell it to them on stream if I find it. For streaming, we literally, with vending, that's why we try to buy everything. Literally everything that comes to the table. We use low end, mid end. We dabble some high end in the streams. Like I sold 5 tag teams yesterday to somebody on stream. He's like, I want them all, and I was like, okay.
Started a bubble meal at $1.
Like, he did a bubble me the other day at $1, and so like it literally depends on.
Wait, it didn't go for $1, did it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because it didn't go for $1, did it? I was just like, no.
Like, did the stream like work against you? You're like, all right, it starts at $1, and everyone's like, it's like crickets. Like,
guys, wake up.
We have a great.
But I mean, we do have a great community. Domerex as a whole has an amazing following. That's helped tremendously, not only like with vending and going to different functions and venues and just everything in general, just the friends that you make and the support that you get. It's literally a big family.
How many people are a part of Domerex?
There's 11 of us now
Oh, wow.
on the team. He's over here counting on his fingers.
Yeah.
11.
11.
11.
There's
Wow.
11 of us in total.
So is it a 24-hour streaming network?
We're trying to get to 24 hours. They just started up the second channel as well, so that's going to be in the works. I'm full-time. I know Rice is full-time now. Dom's full-time. And then I think 2 or 3 of the other streamers on there are working on going full-time as well.
Wow. Yeah, Whatnot and streaming is kind of a new thing for me. So when I had you coming to the show and you were on the vendor list, someone was like, "Oh wait, so is Domo gonna be there?" I was like, "Who's that?" There's a person, actual Domo or Domorex? Is this a person?
Boss man Dom. Because I mean, it's funny because they'll get on there and they'll be like, "Dom, is that you?" And I've been like, I do not have enough bass in my voice, and I like to think I don't have a mustache, but I was like, but I was like, no, that is boss man.
How long ago did the streaming channel start? Has that been around for a while?
I mean, Domerex has been around for.
Domerex has been around for, I think he was saying today, 2 years? 2.5 years?
2.5, 3 years. Is what I think he said the other day that he's been streaming.
Is he in chat? Maybe he can answer the chat.
I mean, Wumpy's in here talking smack.
The man in chat. Are you the legend? Is a legend in chat?
I think it's like 2.5 years.
Yeah. As far as we're aware, I think it's 2.5 years.
Oh, wow. So he's like an OG.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
How do you feel like that GameStop has entered the chat?
I think that changes a lot of things for a lot of people. I mean, even when they started grading cards now and just everything in general, I think it gives more options, more variety. I think it opens the doors, just another platform for people to be able to get product and see it. And
I mean, Dom just sold 27 booster boxes of the new set at $6 a piece.
Wow.
Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought the at cost. Not...
I think it's great for the platform. I think it's great for them. I think it's great for the community as a whole. So hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's definitely going to bring a lot more accessibility to people who had never heard of Whatnot, even though it's everywhere, but it's everywhere within the, niche community that we're in. But GameStop reaches so many people. So I think that by them having such a big platform to begin with, and then being able to bring people on Whatnot, I mean, like, they're not just going to stay on the one stream. They're going to check out everyone. So I think as a whole, it's probably going to, the wealth is going to be spread. So we saw even with the game store that my husband has, that people are going into GameStop and they're grading cards and they're having access to graded cards, where this was like something you only saw on the internet.
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, people didn't know how to get graded cards. They didn't know how to grade cards. They didn't know what a PSA or Beckett or CGC was. But now, because GameStop is everywhere and this is what they offer to people, so now they're like, oh, okay. And it kind of educated the market a little more, but it also, it's definitely changed over the last couple years with slabs being so popular. It's something that we didn't even really have in store. And now people come in and they know what they're buying, what they're selling, and what they can get for it at GameStop, which is interesting because GameStop didn't have slabs, when we first opened.
I mean, I've got friends that I, went to school with and work with, and they're just like, man, like, this GameStop, like, I just got pictures, like, a week ago from my friend, and he's like, the GameStop stuff's legit. He's like, my brother and I just got our cards back. And I was like, right on, buddy.
Right.
You want to sell them?
He goes, do you want to sell them?
Yeah, right.
But no, I think it's great. And I mean, it makes it even more convenient for us too, because it's like when we're not up in Jersey and stuff, like he's gone and dropped stuff off at Jersey before, or just, right there. I mean, we've got 3 or 4 GameStops in the area within like 30, 40 minutes of us. So it makes it convenient.
But I like the Jersey City.
I know you like the Jersey City PSA drop off. I know you do.
Oh, you've been there? How's the traffic over there? I mean, like I imagine that the traffic to get into that building is probably rough.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's done it. He's done it when I haven't been with him, so I don't know if I ever honestly want to experience it.
I think John just likes to drive. Like, what's
he is too? I don't know why. For the life of me, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'd love to do a show up in the building where PSA is. I mean, it's a pretty big building with a big lobby, and I've checked it out before, and I'm just like, oh. But then you got to worry about parking.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like the big thing when I'm looking for a venue. I'm like, what's your parking situation? And everyone's like, oh yeah, parking's good. And then you get there, and you're like,
it was a lie.
Yeah, it's like you.
Be like, the parking was a lie.
Right.
But
so
like him, like up in Massachusetts, he was like, can you go move the car? And I was like, I don't know where the back parking lot is.
Yeah.
He just looks at me and he's like, seriously? I'm like, I'm not going to move the car.
Yeah. It was fine. Everyone found their way. Yeah. The thing is, like, when some shows that I've done, when you kind of ask people to move their cars, and I'm like, no one's moving, no one cares. Okay, that's fine. I mean, like, people that want to be here, they'll make it. I hope so.
I'm like, I'll gladly go move the car, but like, if I don't come back for like an hour and a half, just know like I got lost somewhere. Like I'm just probably aimlessly driving around somewhere. Yeah.
I moved that damn car to put it out front, and everything's one way.
Oh yeah.
I just went down to one way.
You got to just ignore that. Ignore the one-way signs. You just got to go.
Hope for the best. Hopefully nobody's coming the opposite direction at the time.
That's what I was when we went the night before, and it was pitch black. It was like the mall like closed down, and I was like, oh, that was a one-way. And like I'm just already like driving, and I'm like, oh, do not enter. I was like, oh, okay, we're just hoping that we don't hit anything.
Like I think he ran a stop sign. He was just like, too late now. Already through. And like,
the population isn't very high there. Like that was something that God. That was something that we when we were running the ads, so the population so that part of Massachusetts, it's called the Berkshires. So it's a very big population of people with like second homes coming from the city or Connecticut. It's like the mountains version of the Hamptons. So it's really a summer destination for a lot of people. There are people that live there year round, but it's mostly second home people. So when we were running the ads, I was just like, man, when I run an ad in New Jersey, it's hitting like 90,000 people, 70,000 people. I was like, what is going on here? It like capped out at like 40,000. And then Jesse was like, well, let's see what the population is up here. And it was like, of the 10 surrounding towns, it was only like 100,000 people. I was like, oh, okay. So like,
where is everybody?
Yeah, well, they're all in New Jersey. No, I was just like, okay. So a quarter of the population saw our ad. So when I did like a little poll at the door, like, hey, how did you hear about us? And they were all like, oh yeah, it was an Instagram ad. I'm like, yes,
it is. It worked.
It worked. So yeah, how do you think that you are able to market yourself through? Is it mostly through the channel, like the Whatnot channel, or how did you grow your
Instagram,
social media?
I'm trying to get a YouTube started. That's a whole ordeal on its own. I'm gonna have to attempt to learn how to edit videos and do everything else. I was like, just add more stuff that I don't know how to do to my plate. Right. I'm like, I'm literally just winging it.
Girl, oh, like same. Yeah, it's like
because we'd like to do a YouTube, so it's like I can live stream at the shows and like talk to everyone, because it's like all my little Whatnot friends are here. My friends. And
potato.
But mostly, I mean, for right now, it's Instagram until we get YouTube up and running, and then Whatnot as well.
What? So are you doing vendor POVs?
We're working on it. It's interesting because like you'll have me and like I'll have the microphone on and like I'll just say the most like unhinged. Like we had the other day when you're just like, "Oop, are we recording?"
No, that didn't happen. I was
And like I'll say like the most
said.
like unhinged thing in the mic, and he'll be like, "The mics are on," and I'm just like, "Oops." And he'll be like, "We're not live. It's fine." So I'm like, I was like, give me a couple more to practice and like, just like get in like the mindset of like, I need to be very mindful of like what I say.
You're like, family friendly. We're family friendly here.
Exactly. And I'm like, it's not even anything bad. I'm just like, I'll talk crap on myself and I'll just be like, man, and then he'll just be like, dude, the mic's on. And I'm just like, oh crap.
Oh, I know. I mean, as much as I would love to do like a POV of like what it is to start a show and have a day of a show, I'm just like, I'm running around most of the day and I'm saying some crazy shit all day long. And I'm like, no, that doesn't need to be on camera. But I think it would be fun. I think that would be interesting to see like what
me. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm so awkward all the time. Like just all the time. I'm just like, whatevr. It's like, then I stutter. And then I can't get my words out as it is. And I'm just like, oh, it's real awkward now.
Can we not be the same? I'm like, I've been doing this podcast for months now. And I'm like, whenever I could talk to you all day long in person. But as soon as the camera's on, I'm like, what happened? I don't know. I have no words. I have no thoughts in my brain. It just completely, it's gone.
And it's like, I mean, like Dunny in chat, like Dunny met me in Chicago. Like he'll tell you at first, he's like, you gotta like liven up and loosen up. He's like, in person, like I'll just sit here and like you won't hear like a peep out of me. And then like on stream, I can be the most like obnoxious, degenerate, like fly off the wall. And he's like, how is this person, and then this person, And I'm like, I don't know. Well, like in person, I'm just like, I'm just there. I'm just existing.
I mean, like, I don't want to like say any of that, but yeah. You're quiet.
That's not me. And like that's the thing though. And like told me too, and he was all like, why?
I don't know. I think that I have it's the opposite for me when I'm in person. In person, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. All I do is yap. And then when I get on camera, I feel very awkward. But I feel like you're very natural on camera. You're great, actually. Like not just like natural, like you're excellent. Like you have a really good presence and you're able to speak clearly. So it's great. So you should have your own podcast.
Maybe after, if I can figure out the YouTube thing, maybe that'll happen one day eventually. But yeah, no, it's funny because like, I mean, once like I'm around somebody like 2 or 3 times, then I honestly, I start to open up and I'm just like, man, like, can these people like really handle how I am? And I'm just like,
no, it's just so funny because like I never really thought of it that way because like seeing on stream and seeing and like talking to you now, it's really funny because like in person I'm like, oh, she's very shy. I was like, she just must be shy. But are you?
I'm not though. Like that's the craziest thing. Like I don't know what it is. Like, I have horrible social anxiety. Like I don't know.
Really, a vendor with social anxiety. You're so good with people. I've seen you talking to attendees and everything. I'm like, oh, I was like,
normally
maybe
like he's like the hermit who wants to stay home and like doesn't talk. Hand to whatever higher powers out there. Like he is the one who is perfectly content, loves to stay home on his couch, like not talk to anybody. And then he's like, then there's you, and he's like, and you're out with all your 10 friends that you say you don't have because you know whatnot. He's like, you're gone doing your own thing, and I'm just like.
Are you the type of person that's like, I have no friends, but meanwhile everyone's like, oh, hey, what are you doing, girl? And you're
literally, he's like, how many people are have text messages? And I'm just like, there's 37 text messages, and I'm like,
that's funny.
But yeah, it's funny. He gives me crap all the time over it. He was like, for someone says they have like a whole 3 friends, and I'm like.
You're like, I'm popular. What can I say?
Yeah, he gives me crap all the time. But like, he shocks me vending too, because like I give him props because like him actually like going out there with him just being like a little homebody. I'm just like, look at you go. I'm like,
I think he loves it. He doesn't love it.
He honestly, he really enjoys it. He does. He may not admit it, but he does. So I'll rat him out on that when he does. Don't let him fool you. But he does.
Who does the majority of the selling when you guys are in negotiating? Is it just both of you, or is it mostly
It's both
him?
of us. Like if he's busy, like everyone like stares and looks at him. I'm just like, guys, like I can do deals too.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just calculating things.
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to wait in line for him. Like I can help you. Like, and I don't know if that's because they're used to seeing him every weekend, where I'm every other weekend. Because it's like I'd like to be 0.3 at work by the end of the summertime. I'd like to only have to do one weekend every 6 weeks.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I think they're so used to doing deals with him, and they're just like, they probably think he's Pokey Kitty. They probably think he's Kitty, and then like I'm just his helper. Whatever else, like
cases, right?
Yeah, I'm just the assistant that helps every other weekend. But no, yeah, it's a blast.
What do you usually keep in your case when you come out to vend?
What don't we have? I mean, there's a whole Zion case full of mid to high end singles. There's a whole case full of slabs. In the Massachusetts show, like when we like rushed out of the house, we actually left one of the cases with the majority of the high end slabs. We got there and he goes, "Where's this one?" I was like, "It's in the case." And he goes, "No, it's not." I'm just like, "Where's the other case?" And he's like, "It's at the house." I was like, "It's on the table, isn't it?"
Oh my gosh. No, when you said you left it, I thought you left it there.
No,
I'm like,
no. We left it at home, not at the show. Because we got to the show and we're like, "Where's all of our stuff?" Like, didn't we pack it in the car? But yeah, he kind of looked at me. He was like, "That had like our Sunbreon and our Moon Kitty." And I was like, "Well," I was like, "I may or may not have left it on the kitchen table." And I was like, "You'll have it for next time, though."
Right? Is there any? Oh, go ahead.
No, you had.
Is there anything that sells on stream that doesn't sell in person, or is there something that definitely will go on stream that you won't even make it to the case?
I will say like a lot of like IRs, ARs, trainers, like stuff like that. Like a lot of people, like we don't have binders. And a lot of that is due to that's what I use on stream. So it kind of, in a way, like, balances each other out. Like what I take in, I can use, and then I can use, profits from whatnot to not only buy for the stream again, but I can use it to put it towards slabs. So, like it's just this constant like snowball,
right,
of stuff that I'm accumulating. But I will say like the IRs, ARs, trainers, stuff like a lot of the lower to mid goes better on stream for us than it would vending wise. And then more of the higher end stuff, unless you have like that specific buyer that's like, I want this. We use like the slabs and stuff for vending.
Yeah. When you're buying and sourcing, do you have like specific people that you have in mind? Like people that are in the stream all the time and they're like, "Oh, I really want, Machamps," or some.
Well, no, literally, he laughs at me like every stream. Like I have like my little sticky note thing here, and like someone will be like, "I want this," and I'll be like, you'll see me like write with my Sharpie,
right.
The stream. Like I'll have a list and be like, this screen name wants this, and this screen name wants this, and it's like I know I have some of the stuff, but it's like if I've already built the stream, and I'm by myself, I'd be like, that's gonna take me like 10 minutes to go like dig through the piles of stuff we have. So I'm just like, hey, like we'll be back on Thursday or we'll be on Sunday, like tune in then. Like I will do my best to find it for you, but like I'll make lists of what people want, and if I have it and I find it, I'll throw it right into the next show.
What do you mean build the stream? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Do you go through all
building the stream? I don't know if anybody else calls it that, but it's like we'll be there like sleeving and sorting cards and putting them in the semi-rigids and everything else. So like he kind of like starts out like slow with like some lower end stuff, and then he'll like work up to the bigger stuff, or the mid-grade stuff, or card 25, he'll throw a $50 card in there. So like he has his like little algorithm that he lays out for the way he like puts all these 400 cards together.
Wait, John, or like who?
Him? Yeah, John.
Oh, you're like, yeah, who's doing this? I wasn't sure.
They're on the couch right now watching probably
the Domo
cards.
So
what he's like, but when we're streaming, we don't have cards sitting in binders for weeks. We literally come home and flip it on stream that day. Yeah, we've come straight home from shows on Sundays, like New Jersey shows. When we leave your shows in New Jersey, we will drive the 3 hours home, and by 7 p.m. we are on Whatnot streaming from the cards that we got that day.
Oh my gosh, that's exhausting. I'm hoping that we can get compare the two different venues that you've done with us. Did you feel like the Bridgewater show was better than Somerset, or was it the same?
It was about the same for us. I mean, we had a good turnout with both, so I don't think like one trumped the other. I think it honestly depends on the day too, because sometimes it comes in waves. Sometimes it's like all in a big burst. Like the Sunday shows, we know that generally if people are in church, we aren't like going to gear up until like after lunchtime when everyone's out like doing their thing or their afternoon shopping or whatnot. But I think we've had a great turnout with both. So I don't think we preferred one over the other.
Yeah, as we're getting into summer, I'm getting nervous to see like what the summer shows are going to be like. I'm like, you never pray for rain, but especially with cardboard. But yeah, when there's so many big shows that are in the area, I'm really curious to see if we slow down. We have two. Well, in next week, not this coming weekend, the following weekend, we have a big show on Saturday. And then we have a 2-day show coming up in July. And I'm just like, I wonder, because it's the weekend after Collecticon, I'm hoping that people go to Collecticon and there's like still itching. So that they want to come back.
When I went there, let me go hit the other show up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that people are going to be excited and then come back and just say, okay, I loved Collecticon, or Collecticon was too big. I want to go to this show. So we'll see.
I think it'll be, I mean, fingers crossed, like all the shows are great all summer.
Yeah, seriously. Do you prefer a 2-day show over a 1-day show? I guess because you travel so much. I mean, like, do you have any preference?
It honestly doesn't, I mean, I'll do both. I'll rock out with both. I do like the 2-day show because I feel like if I'm coming into a 1-day show, like if I work a 12-hour day beforehand at the hospital and everything else, and he's like, get in the car, like I'm still in my scrub pants, like we're rolling, like as soon as we get home, I'm like, can I change?
Oh my God.
And then at least like day 1, like I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And day 2, I feel like I've like recuperated a little bit.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, like I'm ready to rock and roll. Like, let's do this. But like, I like them both. Like, I honestly don't have any preferences. Like, I'm the easiest person. I'm just like, go with the flow. Tell me when and where to be.
Yeah.
And I'll just do whatever.
John likes a 2-day show. First day is great for buying. Second day is great for buying. Okay. I want to do a 3-day show.
Selling second day. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so both days are great for buying. Yes. Right. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, I guess you have like a different group of people. From what I heard from the 2-day show that we did, that people, first day it was kind of a lot of like looky loo, come around, and then the second day was people wanted to buy. But I don't know. I hear a lot that people just want to sell, which is interesting to me because I'm like, where are they getting the cards from that everyone's trying to sell? You know,
that too, because I mean he was packing up the car at the Massachusetts show, and like 2 or 3 people came up and they're just like, are you still like looking? And I'm like, I'm here like going through the binders and stuff myself. And he goes, what are you doing? And I was like, they want me to buy their stuff. And like I'm all excited, like looking through the stuff. He's like, the show's over. And I'm just like, not yet, it's not.
Whoa, were they vendors or were they attendees?
I think 1 or 2 of them were vendors.
Oh, nice.
So I think it really just depends, because they're like, we know like this stuff will go for you, and like they'll say too, like you can move this on stream, like so we'd rather sell it to you and go get other stuff that we know we can move,
right?
When we know you can move it, doing whatever. And I was like, that works. It works for me if it works for you.
Gomez in the chat. Gomez is doing the Upstate New York show. Are you guys getting in on that? He was one of the
up with me. I'm like, are we signed up for that?
Yeah, come on, John. Are you on the Upstate New York show? The Upstate New York show. It's exciting because they're going to have 80 vendors. It's a bigger venue than we were just in, and it's a lot of like solid, good vendors that we're just working with, and they came down to the 2-day show a couple months ago. how do I feel about people doing side deals and stuff in your events and didn't buy tables or something like a trading corner? I don't have space for that. I wish I had more space for people to do trades. Usually if people are doing trades, they do it out in the lobby or they find space within the show. I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't love when people try to bring in a lot of sealed product and try to unload it at the show with carts, and just because it's a safety issue, trying to bring carts into the show. But people that are buying and selling and trading within the show, I don't have any real opinion. As long as everyone's making money. I mean, like, first and foremost, I want my vendors to make money. So if they're able to trade their sealed for their singles, I'm happy. But if someone's just setting up shop in the middle of the lobby, I'm not happy. So,
like, well, what was that out there?
I like to make sure that my vendors are taken care of. So if someone's just trying to set up shop without buying a table, like, that's just not cool. Because
and I will say, like, one thing that I appreciate about you, probably out of a lot of the shows that we've done, is like you're constantly checking on us. You're constantly making sure that we're okay. Like, because we've done the couple other shows that I've done with him, it's like, you see someone when you enter the door, and then it's like, if you do have a concern or anything, you're like, where are they? Like, who do I have? Whatever. Not saying they're not busy, because they are, but I will say, like, you are absolutely excellent at, like, constantly checking in and constantly making sure, like, you guys are good. You got what you need. I mean, heck, you brought us pizza. He's like, what are we going to eat? And I was like, they're bringing pizza around.
Oh, that's Katarina. Katarina was all over that. No, I like to make sure that everyone's got everything they need and no one's a problem. And because also I want to be able to be available to you, because if something's going on and then you haven't seen me in 6 hours, then I can't address whatever the problem is. And so that's why I like to have some people working with me, just so I can be relieved from the front and do a little lap.
No, and it's like very much appreciated, because it's like, it'll be the second time, like, John, like, the one time John looks at me, he's like, I have a question. I'm like, I don't know the answer. Been like, I got no idea.
You're like, I'm new here. I'm
existing. I'll be like, where's she at? I'm like, help. But no, like, it's very much appreciated, like, absolutely appreciated. Because it'd be the one time that, like, someone didn't come around and be like, are you guys good? Are you guys okay? And, like, stuff is awry and, like, a mess.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you guys fortunately work together, but some people don't have a partner that they're vending with, and they don't know anyone. So I'm watching a table so someone could get something to drink, someone can pee. I mean, like, there's situations sometimes I'm like, all right, we're starting dollar starts. I'm sitting at someone's table.
Like, guys, we're literally winging it. He told me to hit
we
this
got a
button,
fire sale.
put a card up and hit this button, and that's what we're gonna do.
Right? We got a fire sale here. I don't know when he's coming back, but we got a case full of stuff. I'm going to tell him I sold it all. So I thank you for noticing. I like to be able to be hospitable to the people that I'm working with, because I want you to come back, because it's a lot harder for me to find new vendors that I can trust and that I know that are good people and good for the community, versus someone who's a brand new vendor. That's why I always give the vendors the choice to come back first before I offer the tables to anyone, because I want to make sure that I'm retaining the ones that I really like, and the ones that I don't think they could leave if they can't appreciate what the show has to offer.
Yeah, most was like, the pizza was clutch.
Yeah, right? So Gomez's show is it June 29th? I didn't realize that you guys changed your show. Oh, they originally changed their show date because it was going to be on the 14th, but they all decided that they wanted to come to your New Jersey show.
Is Card Party that weekend?
I don't know. I have to look at Card Party. So I'm excited to hear about Card Party after the fact, because there's a lot of people that are going, not going, and
everyone's back and forth with it. So I think we're just all going to have to, like, play it out and see.
Yeah. My sister lives in Florida, and she was like, oh, is it normal to be like $60 to go to a card show? I'm like, I wish. I wish I could sell tickets for 40 bucks or 60 bucks. I'm like, damn. But there's a lot of meet and greets. Logistically, I wonder how that all works. How was it last year? Is it mostly just vendors and then panels, or how does it work over there?
So if I remember correctly, it was like three lined up, like three big, like gigantic banquet halls.
Oh,
like it was huge. Like you're going from room to room to room, and then it's like then between the one room there was like bulk alley, and like it was really cool. You had all these kids, and people would just drop off their bulk, and like kids were going through all the bulk and like finding cards they wanted, and it was probably one of my favorites. One of the bigger shows, like just as an attendee wise, that I've ever been to, because like there's me like with my own like PC like walking around, and I'm just like I'm a kid, I'm like, this is awesome.
So you brought your PC? That's wild. I'm like, I'd be so scared. Is it a lot of like high end stuff, or
so like, I let the high end stuff at home, so it's like probably 6 weeks ago I woke up one day and like I looked at John and I was like, I want a master expedition. And he goes, why do you hate me? So it's like, if you see me like with my little teal binder, like that's my expedition binder. And then it's like, I have a Bulbasaur binder, and there's a Snorlax binder, and then there's an Evolution binder. So it's like, I try to like gather what binder I want to take to the show. I'm like, what do I want to collect today? Do I want to find Bulbas that I don't have, or Evolutions that I don't have?
You're like, this is an endless quest.
Exactly. He'll look at me, and if you ever see him just kind of like give me the side eye at a show, that'll be me looking at a card, and I'll be like, I don't have that one. And he'll be like, that one's for the case. And I'm like, but I want it. Yeah.
You're getting high on your own supply. You're just like
literally.
Yeah. My husband hates that I started collecting, and I'm just like, things will come in, and the guys that work with him will be like, oh, we got this Chansey. I'm like, oh, wow, I don't have it. And Rob will just side eye me. He's like, I have to make money. I'm like, I'll give you the $9. And
I'll look at him and I'll be like, here. I'm like, here's like I was like, my trade cards are in the back of my binder. Yeah. And I'm like, take from my trade binder.
When Destin Rivals came out, I'm just like ripping packs in the store, and he's like, I have to make money. I was like, the box
That's why
damaged.
we don't dabble in sealed. Like, if you ever notice, like, we rarely, the one thing that we probably won't buy if it comes to the table, he has on occasion. But then guess who ends up ripping it?
Right.
Like, here's $250. And I'm just like, there's me, like, just happy as can be, like, happy as a clam, ripping my packs. And he'll be like, I got to figure out. And he'll be like, you selling the hits? And I'm like, nope.
Yeah. See, if I'm not going to master set something, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to donate these back to the store. But when the gem packs came out, I was just ripping through them because they were so much fun. And he was like, we have to sell this many to make up for the one pack that you just bought. And I'm like, or you just ripped. And I'm like, oh, well, come on.
Let me have a little fun.
I'm like, I work so hard.
But yeah, like when he came in with over the gem packs with the Sylveon boxes at Massachusetts, he's like, these two are yours. Oh, nice. He was like, these ones are for the stream. And I'm just like, are they though? Yeah. I'm like, I was like, how much can I annoy him in the car on my way home to let him, if he just gives me these packs, and like, it'll keep me occupied.
You ripped 4 boxes.
Yeah,
see, John in the chat, he's just throwing you under the bus. See?
But no, like, because I have a random box of Silver Tempest, and then I have a random box of Sword and Shield up on the shelf. I have 2 ETBs, and he's like, I'm surprised, like, those are still even in, like, the cellophane wrap. And I'm like, don't jinx it. Right. I was like, you'll come home, and I'll be on the couch, and I'll be like, surprise.
Right? You're like, I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, by the way, there was nothing.
So what else you guys got going on this summer? Are you planning on doing all the collecticons, or where?
We'll probably hit most of them. I know all in all, we'll do both I mean, I know it's like spread into fall too, but it's like we plan on doing both jerseys, second Chicago. Said what, Houston already had theirs, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many. Like, I literally have like my paper planner that I have stuff written in because I cannot keep the weekend straight and the days straight.
Mm.
And, like, I have his shows written in, I have my work schedule written in, and I'm like, some days he's got us double booked, and I'm like, I guess you're going to one and I'm going to another. Like,
Yeah, when you guys told me that you're double booked for next weekend, I'm just like, oh my God, it must be exhausting. Because I can only imagine, because if you're doing like a local show and then you're doing a big show and then there's so much driving and then there's work and then there's streaming, man.
he says Charlotte and Richmond as well, so we'll do those two. We try to do all the ones on the East Coast. Like, if I'm not working, we try to at least hit all the East Coast ones. Probably, he wants to do, what is it? Is it Kansas City? I think he wants to do Kansas City too, if we can.
Do you feel like when you're competing with your own team, when you go to Collecticon with trying to buy singles, or is everyone just like working together?
Everyone has their own niche. So, like, I will say that. And it's like, all in all, like, just our team Discord chat, like, everyone's like, hey, like, I can get my hands on this. Like, let me know if you want this. Or, like, you know, if you're looking for something specific. So, like, I will say, like, as a whole and as a team, it's very much like a collaborative effort, which is really, really nice to have. And, like, if we have questions, if we don't have product, I mean, like, we went through a dry spell probably 3 months into it with Domerex, and it's like, boss man Dom was like, I got cards. So, like, I paid him and he sent me cards for a stream before we even started vending and back up and running. So, like, I will say, as a whole, everyone supports everyone the best they can, which is really nice to have.
Yeah, it's really nice. How did you were you recruited or approached by Dom? How did you get started with them?
I met Dom through his brother before his brother quit streaming to go do other ventures. So then I got brought on the channel that way, and then met everybody else doing it that way.
Is it? I'm sorry, I'm not that familiar with your team, but is it a mix of male and female, or is it like?
There's Kings, which they're two friends. They're like upstate Pennsylvania wise, so they were at New Jersey Collecticon. They'll probably be there as well. Ash and Bash, so they're a couple that do their own stream, just like Johnny and I do. And then there is Psych and Ash. They're a couple. They're on the East Coast as well. Rice is out yonder. On the other side, Rose out on the other side. So I mean, like, we are all literally like razzle dazzled everywhere. So there's a good mix and match of all of us. I'm like, I'm like, Wumpy's like my grandparents. I'm like, I was like, what is he talking about?
I don't know. Who are the grandparents? I don't know.
What?
So you guys started streaming before you started vending? Did the vending come because you were looking to source, or how did the vending
became
start?
a big part of it. It was just another outlet for us to be able to find cards easier in a way, and then just networking, traveling, you know, getting the brand out there in general as a whole. But I mean, it does make it a lot easier because if sometimes the cards come to us.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like, even when we're not at shows, he'll text me and everything. He'll be like, I'm going to Frederick. I'm going to DC. Like, he's still every day after work or whatever, like, constantly getting cards. Like, I've ran to get cards after work, getting off at 7 p.m. before. So, like, a lot of it initially was sourcing.
Yeah.
To have that outlet for sourcing.
Yeah, I guess because the cards are coming to you instead of like Facebook Marketplace and Discord and everything else, like some guy you met on the street.
And I mean, and that too is like, and then so you have the certain ones on Facebook and everything else too, where it's like some of them really great. Like we're part of Facebook groups, card groups, everything else. But it's like, but then you have the certain people where it's like, I've driven an hour and a half and then like they just quit answering you. Or, you know, or they'll get back to you an hour later that you've been sitting there waiting for them. And they're like, oh, I already sold it earlier today. So like, I feel like just for like a safety purpose too, of like, you're seeing the cards in front of you, or like you're at a show, or it's coming to you, or we're going at the show and looking at other vendor stuff. So like it's just a much like safer environment, just all in general, I feel like.
Yeah.
Than driving 2 hours and then nobody answered and you're like, well, I guess I'm going home now.
Right. No, for sure. When I think about it, I never really think about it because wasn't my industry to source cards. But if you want to be safe and you want to make sure that someone's not going to rob you. And I mean, like, of course there's risks doing card shows, but if you're in a card show where someone is coming there, and especially if they're coming to meet you, I mean, like it is a lot safer. What would you suggest to someone who, I mean, I guess you don't want people to know too much about like sourcing cards. You're like, don't want them to start doing what you do. Right? But when starting off streaming, what do you suggest people should do to go and source cards?
I mean, I think we've like used any and every outlet. Like we've used eBay. We were buying off of Whatnot too, and whatever card, like Facebook. I mean, we still continue to use every outlet. So I mean, wherever there's cards and wherever you can get your hands on cards, and as long as it's a safe scenario and a safe situation, get the cards.
Source a bunch of cards before streaming. So don't go on stream looking for cards. So is that what he said? When you're vending, would you say that the majority of the time that you're there is just to buy, or are the cards in your case you're trying to sell or trying to trade up to get more singles?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Absolutely both. What's he saying? He was like, source a bunch of cards before streaming and get inventory first. Well, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't just show up and be like, hey, I'm here.
Like, don't know what we're selling today, guys, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think the best case of being the middleman. Yeah, I agree, especially for the business that you guys are running. It's the case is really the middleman. I didn't think about it, or I'm learning a lot more, especially when it comes to what vendors want and how they're getting it, because there's people walking around with big stacks of singles and they're like, oh, I'm trying to trade up to get this, or trade this to eventually get to this. And I'm like, oh, that's how it works. Because when I see a big card in someone's case, I'm just like, how? Like someone's going to bring $15,000 to the card show. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes people bring that much cash, but I guess it is a lot of people coming and trading, right?
I mean, it is. Cause I mean, who realistically, I mean, even still being fresh into vending, and I'm still a baby streamer. I'm just a baby. But like realistically, like even getting into this, I mean, he still has me watching Bulbasaur, watching Garchomp, watching all of them, like watching Coop. I go to sleep with these videos on my TV, and I'm like, I hear them in my dreams, and I'm like what to do and not to do vending, but it's like you'll hear them say, like, I started out literally, we were the same way, like started out with $1,500 cash, bought, traded up, and like we've gotten to the extent where we've gotten now, because like who does realistically getting into this, or if you're just the everyday buyer walks around with $15,000-$20,000 worth of cash to be like, let me go blow my savings on 2 ponchos,
right?
But no, but a lot of it is trading. It is. I mean, I've got a lot of my personal stuff trading just to trade up to the higher cards that I've gotten now.
So John in the chat is just like, no, she's not allowed to have anything PC. You're like, not when we're working. Right? I mean, how often at the shows do you find something PC, or it's not even on your radar?
Well, there's every show. I'm like, I don't have that one. Like me just opening the Gen 2 packs. I'm just like, Umbreon Master Balls. And I'm like,
right?
So like I'm going through the packs on here. He's like, we can sell some of the singles off of here too. And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna go see what we have doubles of. And I'm gonna go put them in my evolution binder. And I'm like, you're not gonna talk your schmack. But no, every show. There's something I'm just like, I don't have that. Yeah. That would look nice in my binder.
How often or how long does it take to prepare for any stream? And how long are your streams when you're on?
I mean, roughly at least 3 to 4 hours a stream. So like when I'm on like the day side, Mondays and Tuesdays, I go from like 11 to 3, 11 to 4, give or take. If nobody's on after me that day and I've got the product, I'll run till 5, 6,
Oh my God.
whenever, but like at least 3 to 4 at a minimum. Day or two before, like we're going through all the cards and then we're unsleeving the cards, putting them in fresh penny sleeves, putting them in semi-rigids, putting them all together, putting them in their boxes and their rows to make sure everything's organized. So like at least a day or two beforehand. And since we do like Monday, Tuesday back to back, even Sunday, Monday, Tuesday back to back, we're probably spending Friday, Saturday, on the way home. I'm sleeving and semi-rigiding on the way home on Sundays from New Jersey shows for us to come home and stream on a Sunday night.
Oh my God.
So like I feel like it's just this constant rolling machine. Like we're out watching shows and eating dinner. I'm sleeving cards. Yeah. He's sleeving cards. He's looking on Facebook for more cards. Like it never stops.
You put your kids to work? Or are you like, come on? No?
I mean, when she wants to help. So like when she collects trainers, so like I'll find a cool trainer, I'm like, hey, you want to sleeve some cards? And she'll be like, what's in it for me? And I'm just like, this cool nifty trainer. And she'll be like, okay. So it honestly depends. She's in that tween stage. So it's all about her friends and hanging out and being on the phone with them. So when I can get her to help, she will help. But
yeah, she came to that show that that John did. I got to meet her. Very cute.
Yeah.
What how long did it take you to ship out everything? And do you have a shipper or you guys do it all yourself?
I am I am primarily the shipper.
Oh my God.
He'll do it like if I work at the hospital the next day, he'll be the one doing it because we like to aim for one day shipping. So like if I get off at like 7 or 8 p.m. on a Sunday, it's every business day. So then I like to have it out at Tuesday morning at like 8 when the post office opens, like at the latest.
Wow.
So like if I get off, I spend 2 to 3 hours packaging everything up and then it's out hopefully the next day.
Wow. I'm impressed. I mean, like I think I work a lot and then I see you and John and I'm just like, I'm just a slacker. I was like, I need another job. Wow. That's, you got to get it while the getting's good.
And I think the end goal is like, he looked at me today and he's like, the end goal is for like me to not work. And he was like, for whatever reason, he goes, you like your job sometimes. And I'm just like, do I though? Do I really? I was like, cause I'd rather do this full time. Like, I'd rather travel and hang out with like my vending friends and my stream friends than like be at the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah. The big thing for us in leaving a full-time job is like health insurance and all that stuff, the benefits that come along with having a job outside of being self-employed. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. As much as it would be a nice thing for me, I think that it's just, I don't know.
Like, it's scary too, because like I'll look at him, I'll look at John, and I'll just be like, literally, I feel like the only reason why I'm there anymore is like to have health insurance, because like it's a very scary thing to like put all of your eggs into this basket, and is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? Like, it seems to be working when we're still working our full-time jobs, but then it's like to put all your eggs in that basket and not have your benefits and not have your health insurance and have to like pay for it out of pocket through a private company. Like, it's scary.
Yeah. And we've both seen like what happens if you don't have health insurance, like it's not fun, or like the expenses.
It's hard with health insurance, let alone without it. Right.
But I guess like my husband went from having like this great union job to taking the leap and working for himself. But we were fortunate that my job had benefits. So it's like, but that's, I guess when we're both ready, we'll just do it. Right.
And that's where him and I are. Cause like, we're kind of at the point where just like, which one of us want to quit first? Because like, whoever quits can go on the other's benefits.
Right.
So it's just like, who's gonna make that leap first, is I think we're at that like teeter point
Right.
I think it'll be him because he's got more years in at his job than I do mine, which I'm totally fine with. Because then with nursing and everything else, I was like, I can pick up, do whatever, go point whatever, travel. I think mine's a lot more flexible,
right,
than his. So I think he'll make the jump before I do, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's the thing about having a career like nursing. Like even if you were to take the leap and had to come back and go and pick up hours somewhere, you could. It's really not hard to get back into wherever or whatever. It might not be the nice job. I mean, I don't know. Maybe your job sucks.
It depends on where you're at, what you're doing.
I mean, like, it might not be the same kind of gig you have now, but yeah, you'll always have something.
I mean, I'd be working in the Wild West in the emergency department. Like, I don't think like go somewhere that's not the emergency department. I've been like, man, like this is a cush gig. Like,
yeah, right. One of the guys.
What is this place?
One of the guys that comes to the store, he's an ER nurse, and his ER, they like flexed everyone. They were like, all right, you can go work on the floor, or we don't necessarily need these nurses here. They want everyone to go med surge. So they made him go med surge. He's like, this is a nice pace. I don't have to rush. I was like, you're the only person that's ever said that they like med surge. Or like, you were wild.
But you call the elevator on the way up to the floor. Like, right? And there's me. We'd be boarding patients and they put their like 30 home meds in, and I'm just like, why is there so many medications? like, why is there so many? I was like, I need the life-saving stuff, and then they go do that elsewhere. Right. You're like, I remember when I was working in the hospital, and I would be like, why can't the ER just do this? Home med, like admissions, home med list. I'm like, ugh. But, My preceptor, like, I remember when I first started, she just looked at me, she goes, I hope you know, like, you just signed up to be the most hated nurse in the hospital. Right. And I was like, oh, great. Getting a report, and like, oh yeah, his walkie-talkie, everything's great. 7 o'clock meds were given. Just, bring him on up. So bring him on up. He's like combative and swinging, and it's like, how's their skin? They have it. Last bowel movement. I don't know. It happened. It happened in the elevator on the way up. Sorry. Right. Oh my God. Like the memes are so true. The memes and the videos are so true. And I'm just like, oh, this is so bad. I'll never forget. I got a report on a patient. They're like, like history of mental, whatever. And I was like, okay. And so they brought him up with 3 security guards, and they got him in the room, and they were like, all right, see ya. And I'm like, what do you mean, see ya? What? So I'm working nights at the time, and they were like, oh yeah, see ya. And I was like, okay. So then the guy's completely psychotic and like, very delusional, very combative. He gets on the elevator, pushes me. So I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know where this guy's going to get off. Like pushes me out of the elevator. And it was not good, but I don't do that anymore. And I mean, I think like just doing this, like being compared to like what we like you used to do and what I still currently do. Oh, I'm all tangled up. I'm sorry. Right. But, like, it's such a like a refreshing like pace and like different environment and everything else. And I'm like, this is my vacation from my actual job. I'm like, I don't treat this as a job. I'm like, this is just my hobby that I enjoy in life to take away from my actual job that I have to do. Yeah, Jesse, when I was telling Jesse, Death Metal Charizard, how I think about running a show, it's kind of like being a nurse on the floor. It's like everything you can get done with, you kind of do at the beginning of the shift, because once you get that admission, you don't know what's going to come up. So that's kind of how I am with like people being on time, and I think our brains work differently in that sense of like, like just with the rounding and everything else, like making sure everyone has what they need and like doing like setting your task. And it's like, I think our brains work differently than other people's do with that sort. Right. It's just like completely ingrained in me, and like how I've worked for so many years. It's like, all right, take care of everything I could take care of up front, because something's going to happen, and then it's going to need all my attention. So if I can't
go back to this little tasky thing at the time. So, but it also makes me a little micromanagey, but I guess.
And he gets on me about that too. And I'm like, no, I'm like, it's just like cluster care. We cluster all these tasks together. And he's like, I don't know what that means. And I'm like,
you're like, we're getting them ready for bed. So we're going to do a bed bath. We're going to give them meds. Then we're going to do a bed bath. We're going to change the bed. We're going to clean them up.
What we're doing and when we're doing it. I think it drives him crazy sometimes. But he's like, you do get stuff done. And I'm like, exactly.
Right? Because I'm just trying to get it over with. You know?
And like he'll look at me and he'll be like, I see that little squirrel running every different direction. And I was like, my squirrel's gonna get where it needs to go. I'm like, don't you worry about it.
Right. Yeah, that's so funny because like you're the first nurse that I've met in this process, and I'm like, I know she gets it. She gets it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you guys? When's the next stream?
Thursday.
I'm like, what's today?
I'm like, today is. So tomorrow, he'll be on tomorrow night.
Oh, did you get your tattoo work done today?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Hair appointment was today. Tattoos.
I was gonna say this. I was like, this bee got her hair done. I was like, she looks great on stream.
Yeah, who was it that?
It looks so good.
Thank you. Like, I actually did my hair the other day, and I was like, you guys, like, see me, like, with my hair jacked up on my head, like, first day of the show, and I'm just like, man, I look like a troll.
No, not at all. I mean, like, I'm like, mostly looking like a troll all the time because I'm just, like, I'm tired. I'm still, like, I'm just, like, I'm not young anymore. I can't believe I did the show, drove home, worked Monday, and I was just, like, it's been constant. Was at the Somerset venue this afternoon. It was just like everything was kind of crazy. But then, yeah, we drink our energy drinks. We do it again tomorrow.
Like, what did I say? I was like, I literally live on Red Bull Monster, a whim and a hope and dream. And I'm like, and we're going at it. Like, let's do it. Hope for the
Seriously.
best.
Yeah, I get it. But you know, the hustle life, it doesn't stop. You just have to keep going. And like, I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm sure you do too, because you wouldn't be doing it at the capacity that you're doing it unless you really loved it.
I think, an end goal for us too is like, you know, he's like drop 2 of like, he's like, you know, would you eventually want to open up? John's like, would you eventually want to open up a store? And I'm just like, can I just sort the cards on the shelves? Cause like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You gotta get a sorter.
I'm like,
there's no good stores here.
And like, that's the thing. And like
come on, John, quit that job. Shit.
She's like, quit that job.
But there's no good stores around here.
Like, he even threw at me the other day. He goes, you want to move to New Jersey? And I said, do I want to do what?
Oh my God. That'd be fun.
But then like too, but like there's not much in our area, and like that's one of the other scary things.
Create the market. I created. I didn't single-handedly create the market, but we created an experience here at the New Jersey TCG show that wasn't here. So now you get to do that in your area. You can do this. If I could do it, you can do it. I'll hold your hand.
Or you can just come down here and like we'll do it together when you come down here.
That's the thing. Like, everyone's like, come to Connecticut, come to Rhode Island, come to Virginia, come to Maryland. And I'd love to, but I got to find a venue. I mean, like, the venue is the thing that like, it's impossible. It's wild to me. I mean, like, even today dealing with the Somerset venue, it's like, they want your business, but then you don't want your business. It's like, come on.
It's just that roller coaster of like,
yeah. It's the hardest part of running the show is just there's dealing with the venues, especially because you do your first show. And I was telling Death Metal Charizard, I was like, we need to have a second show lined up because people want this. And that's a lot of the venues. They don't want to book your second show until they see what happens at the first show, or you're paying a premium. So sometimes it's worth paying the premium.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I still haven't heard back from the venue that we talked about earlier this week, but maybe I'll call them again tomorrow. Yeah, I'm like, let's go. It looks like it's going to be a good place. I mean, again, I just need 2 shows to get the ball rolling, and then it's
snowball from there.
That's it. That's it.
Like literally let it snowball.
Gomez got my venue. No, you don't have a venue for me. You have a venue for you.
Like, are you going to share? That is the question.
I was talking to Gomez last night and I was just like, all right, I'm going to micromanage your show right now. He's like, I'm for it. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not.
He's just like, here's the keys.
No.
Take it.
I was like, don't put a nurse in charge of something because you never get it back.
Been like, okay. Been like, does he know what he just signed up for?
No. No, I'm more than willing to help like anyone that asks for help, especially when it comes to the show, because I just want people to have access to going to shows and building the community. It's because it's fun. And I love seeing I feel like a broken record when it comes to this, but I love seeing the connections that people make with each other. Either like there's nothing better for me than seeing like a kid who feels like they're not the same as other kids, or the parents bring their kid because they're interested in something that other kids aren't interested, and the kids light up. Like that's fantastic. I love that.
I think that's one of my favorite, like telling him, because he was all like, he's like literally, he was like, if your heart's in this, he was like, what makes this so enjoyable for you? And I'm just like, when we are at shows and whatever, like I sort through the boxes. I'm like, this is the stuff that I need to price for vending, and this is the stuff that like that's our stream box. And like someone will come ask me for like the most random off the wall card that like you wouldn't think someone would really want, but they're like, man, like I need this to master my master set. I'm just like, wait. And like I'll like turn around and like grab my 3 like stream boxes. I'm just like, give me 5 minutes. And like I get so excited because it's like I get that feeling. Like I'm 33 and like I am like a child in a candy store when I'm just like, oh my God, like I need that card. And someone has it for me. So like just like especially for the kids, but like even seeing the adults that are still in this to just be so excited to, get their cards for their master set or get their favorite Pokemon, or like you said, like they're into stuff that other kids aren't into. Cause like my boss is a worker, like, are you still doing your Pokemon? And I'm just like, yeah, and you probably wish if you knew like all the traveling and cool people that I got to meet that you would too. And I'm like,
yeah, when I tell anyone at work, or like all my friends think I'm having like some kind of midlife crisis. But like,
I was on FaceTime after my hairpin with my one coworker today. She goes, did you travel anywhere? And I was like, I just went to Carlisle in PA, and I went to Massachusetts on Sunday. And she goes, oh, damn. And I'm like, and I was like, am I go here? I was like, I know I'm going here, here, and here. And she was like, well, I'll see you in the next 2 months.
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody gets it though, but like how just the community and the friends that you build just by doing something like this. I think some people who aren't into it, they're just like, yeah, man, y'all are freaking crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there were people that came from New Jersey that come to the shows regularly that were in Massachusetts that weren't vending. So just to have all the vendors come from out of state, that was incredible for me, because I'm like, oh my God, they're supporting this thing that we're doing in Massachusetts, and it might be terrible, it might be awesome, but I think it's going to be awesome, and I'm glad that they believe in us. So just for you guys to come out and vend, that was amazing. But also to see these people that come to the New Jersey shows and they're like, oh, hey. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing here?
Like, because like he was like, as like him and I both were kind of like, we're like, we want to go to Massachusetts, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, we don't know we don't know what any show's gonna be like. I mean, you could go to a Collecticon, it could be a freaking flop. Like, you don't know. That's just the risk that you take with any show.
I could be stuck in a dungeon.
Don, you did not book that dungeon.
You in the dungeon.
If you told me that you were coming to that show, you would have been on the top floor, but you were like already booked it. And yeah, I would have told you no go. But
like, and him and I both decided, I'm just like, I was like, you gave us a shot, and like, it's been awesome. And I was like, so why would we not go and show our support? I was like, if the shoe was on the other foot, I said, I wholeheartedly believe that she would be supporting us doing, what she's doing. I said, for me, I'm like, look, if I can drive it in 12 hours, I'll travel anywhere.
Oh my God, 12 hours. I'm spoiled. See, like New Jersey's so small. So like if it takes me 20 minutes to go somewhere, I'm like, it's too long. I'm like, it's too far.
Yeah, I drive 45 minutes down to the orthodontist, the dentist the other day, and I'm just like, man, this is why I don't work in the city.
Oh my God. Yeah, You know, I'm very fortunate that even if there are different shows going on at the same time every weekend, there's people that will go to all 3 shows all weekend long, and they're like, you come up and you're stamping their hand and they have a different stamp on, or they're like, they have a wristband from another show. I'm like, what? Like I like, it's crazy the support that people have for all of the vendors and all of the shows. It's really, really, really lucky here in New Jersey. People, we like to spend. The spending habits in New Jersey are unlike anywhere else. So
very, very true. See, maybe I do belong in New Jersey. Maybe my spending habits are more like New Jersey style than Maryland style. Like,
have you guys looked anywhere? Are you interested in any particular place in New Jersey?
Yeah, were you even looking at places? Like, I know he's serious. Like, when he's pulled up, like, Realtor.com, like, looking at stuff. But, like, I haven't caught him doing that yet, so.
A lot of really good hospitals, a lot of trauma centers up here.
He said he'd probably move, like, upstate PA.
PA? That's not here.
That's not here.
New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
There is no half-assing this. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah. You got to use your whole ass. You got a whole ass in New Jersey.
Well, you got my sister where my sister lives in Vegas, so she's all like, we've done front row out there too. And she's all like, come live in Vegas. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, that is like a hop, skip, and a jump. Like, I was like 3 hours, 24-hour drive with 2 dogs and 3 cats and a child. And I'm like,
yeah, that's a lot. But I love Vegas, and I've been to shows out in Vegas, and I think that a show like ours could definitely do well out in Vegas.
Oh, for sure.
But we'll
Johnny,
see.
I'm not moving to Chicago.
It's too windy, too cold.
The traffic that I sat in there was worse than any traffic in New Jersey I've ever experienced.
Really?
What? Like, we sat on, like, what was it, the Beltway, or what was it for? He was like, the distance keeps getting smaller, but the time keeps going up. And I was like, the math's not mathing. I'm like, I don't know.
It took us an hour and a half to go 15 miles.
An hour and a half to go 15 miles.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, this is insane. And like, we've driven into New York, like we've driven through Times Square, and I'm just like, this is horrible.
Yeah, if you especially if he likes the PSA drop off.
And she was like, yeah, especially if you like the PSA drop off, like convenient New Jersey.
Oh, jeez.
He goes off.
Yeah, I'm like 45 minutes from Jersey City. I went to college in Jersey City. So I'm like, I'm familiar with it. If you're looking for houses, I could put you in the right direction.
She's like, no, she's like, oh, I'll point you in the right direction.
We're gonna live in our basement.
He's like, we're gonna end up living in your basement, or like, you know, renting your garage out to us.
Yeah, well, that's where I am right now. Our garage is now a streaming studio. So Rob had high hopes of doing streaming here.
She said they just changed their garage into their streaming room. I mean, we changed one of our spare bedrooms, like, and I was like, now I'm just like, man, I was like, do we really pick the right room in the house? I was like, because I need so much more room than what we have now. I'm like, you do not enter a room in this house and there's not Pokemon cards. There's Pokemon cards in the laundry room.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Like I keep on saying, like, I'm gonna organize this. I'm gonna put it in binders, and it just kind of just like stays
somewhere.
Yeah, literally. As much as we've tried to organize, like, we've got like the little gray totes and everything that we try, and like, I think I've done it one time, and I was like, this isn't gonna stay this way. Like, there's no way. Yeah, I'm like, you walk into every room of the house, and I'm like, can I go one day? Sometimes I'm just like, well, I go one day without seeing a Pokemon card. Nope.
No.
Wake up on my nightstand.
Yeah, same. Is that a prismatic SPC behind you? What do you got behind you?
Where did we get that?
What?
How did you not crack that open?
Oh no, it's open. Literally, someone gave it to me. Like, I have it as a display box because I'm just like, you know what, this is probably the closest I'm gonna get because he's not gonna let me rip. No, he didn't.
Which one?
The
Sylveon?
No, the other one. The SPC one.
Oh, I could have had one. I turned them down.
You said turn them down. That I
Why?
literally carried back, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, I can prop all my other goodies on my shelf up with this really pretty
Right.
Eevee box. And I'm like, the other one we got from a guy that was the military guy, wasn't
he
it?
was stationed in Japan.
That was stationed. Yeah, he was stationed in Japan, doing a deal by the crates in the back of a Walmart parking lot.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
palm tree.
I always like drop my location to one friend. I'm just like, if I don't start moving in like 2 hours, and I'm like, can you just
2
like,
hours? It takes 2 hours to do a deal?
this guy pulled out tote boxes of binders, of sealed stuff, of everything, just from traveling over. He had specific like just travel bags that he
Right.
had like for Pokemon from over in Japan, and like he had like stuff upon stuff. Like I'm rearranging stuff in our vehicle to fit all the stuff that we ended up buying with that deal. Like you do find some like gold eggs on Facebook Marketplace
Yeah.
sometimes.
Especially people that want to get out.
What did he say?
He said, especially people who like want to get out of the hobby. Like if you're lucky enough to,
Yeah.
if they don't want to be in it anymore. But
Or they
like
just
he was
need
like, I'm
money.
going back over it. He goes, and I'm gonna get more stuff. And
Please. I always find it wild when people were vendors and then I'll see another vendor tag them and be like, oh, they're getting out of the hobby. I'm like, oh man, like that was a good guy. Like another one bites
I
his
liked
dust.
him. Like,
Yeah, I liked him. He was cool, but no, you know. But today I talked to a vendor, and my joke is, you go to 3 shows, you want to be a vendor, you vend 5 shows, then you're going to open a store. So one of my vendors that's going to be vending on next Saturday, he just told me that it's going to be his last show with me because he's opening a store. I'm like, oh, I was like, that's awesome. This is the third vendor. The third vendor this year that's dropped because they're opening a brick and mortar. I'm like, oh,
and like
was like,
that's I think like that's his and I's end goal.
yeah,
Maybe one day, like hopefully to do a brick and mortar, but like
Yeah.
once again, like it's scary. It's scary,
Oh, yeah.
especially in like, you know, like I'm saying, like there's not a lot in our area to take that leap, but it's like, you know, to bring shows down here and maybe like cultivate the community.
But there's tons of Pokemon collectors.
So
I'm telling you, we live in like a little, I don't want to say WT. We live in a little WT town. And no retail stores ever survive. I grew up in this town. And no retail stores ever survive. And Rob opened at the end of the peak in 2021. And he had absolutely no product, but now he rolled everything into the business and it's grown substantially. And the shows have grown substantially just because of the organic traffic that comes into the store. And so I think that if you build it, they will come. And it was something that I didn't believe in. And I tell people this all the time, that with Rob, I was like, there's no way that there's going to be a retail store that survives in South Plainfield. And he's had to expand twice. And now he's expanded out of the space that he had and has had to get an extra warehouse just because in the last like almost 4 years, it's grown so much. But if you think that there's nothing in your area, they come. It's a destination. And it was something that I never knew. It was a life that I didn't know. But if this is your goal and your dream, do it.
yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just getting that that gumption, just to be like, you know what, finally, like, you know what, screw it, and like just do it.
Yeah, and people say that like the card shows have kind of killed going into stores and selling cards, and it's absolutely not true. Rob has never had a trouble buying them at 50%, 60% for people who want to trade and people who want to go for cash, because
I mean, I think it depends on the scenario and the
7 days a week.
situation. Like,
Right.
yeah, I mean, depends on the day and depends on why.
Right. I mean, people are always coming in. They're like, I'm having a baby. I got to sell my collection. I'm I'm buying a house. My car broke down. And we're here for whatever you need. So it's definitely a huge, huge way to buy cards. So if you're looking to buy cards,
I think sometimes too, it's like, think about those people where they have those life-changing events where like, I need this money. And like, say there isn't a show nearby and like you guys are the store, like you are that outlet then to not only get revenue for yourselves, but then like that gives them the opportunity to fix or get whatever they need to get for themselves. So like the hand that feeds you, it depends on why and where and how.
Right. We've had countless people say that they just found their old collections, vintage collections, pristine vintage collections. They come in, they're like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not enjoying this. I have no reason to have this. And they're like, I'm just going to dump it, or not dump it. Like we give them a fair price, of course, but they don't want it. They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want any new stuff. And they don't know anything about a card show. They don't know anything about where to find or how to put it all on eBay. So yeah. Or is there a lot of retail by you?
There's 2 or 3. I mean, within they're probably 40 minutes away store wise from us.
But they're only they're about 115.
Yeah, because he's saying like the ones that are, they're like 115% like of comps. So like it just.
Oh wow.
They don't
well, I mean they control the market.
Mm-hmm. And I think so because there isn't a lot around here, that gives it even more of them controlling said market because they are what's around here.
And their trade and their buy is 50%.
And I mean it is 50%. Like there is no wiggle room.
Right.
Like whatsoever. So it's like, we're like on the vendor side of it, it's like I've seen everything else. Like like I mean, at least for me, even him, he'll be like, I'll offer you 70%, 80% on higher stuff. Like, but I think it depends. But yeah, around here, they're very much, I feel like, are controlling the market.
And plus, if you're going to source your cards and sell them on stream, you know what you can get for it on stream. Where Rob buys all of his cards and they stick in the store. So sometimes things are going to sit. You might have an $800, $900 card, and it's going to be in the store for months, just sitting there. So.
He had a card like that with vending the other day. I'm just like, why did you get that card? And like, I was like, that thing is like the bane of my existence. And he's like, I'm telling you, like, even if it sits for a little while, like he's got the patience. And I'm just like, and it sold at the Massachusetts show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was all like, look what's going on. And I was like, hey. And I was
like, she hates when I take in like $1,000 rolls.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's just take it in, and with the way the market is fluctuating, like it's scary to take in, a $1,200 single, and you have the people who either want it for my PC, I don't care about grading, and then you have the ones that are like, I want a grade, I want a 10.
Right.
And it's like I know off the bat that it's not gonna 10. I'm like, man, like how long are we gonna sit on this freaking thing?
Right.
Like, he knew exactly which one.
Sylveon.
The Sylveon tag team. And I was just like, ugh. And I'm like, we're never going to get rid of it. And then he was just like, and I was like, I'll eat crow. I'm like,
Sylveon, was Sylveon and who? I'm like,
Sylveon Gardevoir, wasn't it?
Yeah. The big one. The $400.
It was the like 400 Sylveon and Gardevoir tag team.
Oh, that would have sold in Jersey. How long you have it? You had it? Did you bring it to Jersey?
The 2-day show. Cherry Hill?
Cherry Hill?
Oh.
Is what he saying?
Different show.
About a month ago.
That's a sports show.
Jeez, that's a sports show. No, you got that on a trade night, didn't you?
It was a 2-day show. What other 2-day shows have we done? No, it was at her show.
I was going to say, we were down in the lobby at the trade night or whatever it was. Oh. It was like, you want to do a deal? And I'm here just like, I don't want it. And he's like, yeah. And
I did the trade with Ian.
That was Ian gave you that?
Yes.
Ian's the tag team man, though. Ian's got that niche, man. Like, I'm not. That's the tag team man. And then there's me, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. And I'm like.
But you yell when I take in an Umbreon.
Because the Umbreon and the Sumbreon.
Wait,
I'm just like,
John's got to get a mic and he's got to get headphones because I only hear every other word.
Mic and headphones, so you're just like me in the background.
Just hear him barking.
He's talking schmack. He's talking schmack because he's like, I'm right.
All right. So the plan for the summer, we're going to find a venue down in Maryland. You're going to find real estate. You guys got to open a store. John's got to quit his job.
You got to quit your job.
We're micromanaging lives now.
Yes. I'm going to write his itinerary as soon as I get off of here. I'm like, this is your time span. This is what you'll be doing.
Yeah.
Like, buckle up.
Yeah, right. I was like, what'd he say?
He goes, I have a second mic. He's just over here chatting away. He's
I'm like, what? What did it say? Grandma can't hear you.
Well, you're just over here. It's the peanut gallery.
Right? Seriously.
But no, I mean, find a venue down here.
We'll find a venue. We'll find you a store. Because once you do a couple shows by you, you're going to be like, all right, we already got the market. Let's go.
But then I can't do your shows. And then I'm going to be all sad. Like,
no, don't be sad. You graduated. That's it. We're going to have a little cap and gown. We're like, dude.
We need to have a show every week.
He says you just need to have a show every week and then we'll be fine. We don't have to do anything.
A venue contacted me to do a show the third week of August, or the second week of August. So it's like the 2 weeks before I have a two-day show, I think, or like maybe a one-day show, a big show. And I'm just like, I don't know if we could do it. I don't know if we could get together to 150 to 200 vendors. I'm like, maybe. New venue.
You tell me you can do it.
I mean, not South Jersey, but it's towards the shore. It's in the town that Ian lives in, our friend Ian. So we'll see. I don't know. Well, they're getting back to me tomorrow. We'll see.
I would say since it's 2 weeks before, so it's like an every other weeker. I feel like that's
right.
more manageable than like an every weeker.
Yeah,
like
I can't do every week. I'll die. It's too much. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of personality.
Like a 6-pack of like Celsius around.
Right. That's me. I mean, I'm tired. Fell asleep earlier. I was just like,
5 days ago.
Right. But it's okay. These are all great problems. I'm happy to have these problems. I'm happy to be busy. So, but thank you so much for meeting with us on the podcast. And it's so great to hearing a little bit more about what you do. And I'll see you in 10 days. You and John. All right. Will you be there or will John be solo?
I'll be there in 10 days, right? I won't be spending this weekend. I'll be there I'll be at her show. Yes, I'll be there.
I'm going to try and get
look at my schedule. I'm like, I'll be there, right?
That's the one we're double booked with Woodbridge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to that
one. Wait, Woodbridge is on the same day.
What was that?
Woodbridge is the same day.
That's what he's saying. He's going to skip Woodbridge and go to yours.
Well, it might be better. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I
did a show in Maryland that I don't know if I told you. I know I told Ian. I'm pretty sure I told Ahmed, but I looked at them. I was like, we did that show in Maryland, and I was like, I'm sitting there, and he goes, "What's wrong?" I was like, I miss my New Jersey friends.
That's it. You got to make some Maryland friends now.
And I was like, I miss my New Jersey friends. I'm like,
was it 3 hours? Is it 3 hours from where we are in Jersey to where you are in Maryland?
Roughly, yeah. It's like 2.5, 3.
All right.
Take with traffic and stops.
We'll probably be able to bring some of our friends down. I want it to happen. I think it would be cool. It's nice to see and meet different vendors. They're actually I don't know if you saw them, but they'd never vended with us before. And they're from your area and they came to not Maryland. They came to Massachusetts, but they stopped in Bridgewater. They thought the show was in Bridgewater, New Jersey. And they messaged me and Jesse and said, we're going to be a little late. And I'm like, how late? And said an hour. And meanwhile, someone had already told me that they went to Bridgewater. So I was like, they're not going to be an hour late. But
you're like, I can give or take. Like,
they actually got there before someone from New York. So I was like, But yeah, I felt bad for them, but they were nice guys. I didn't really talk to them throughout the day, but yeah, I'm like, they're like, we didn't really look at, we just saw that there was an opening for one of your shows and we didn't really look at the address. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like crap.
I was like, everything about my every post has been like Lee, Massachusetts. But yeah, so
Like, it's fine. It's all fine.
yeah, they made it. Hopefully they did well. But anyway, but thank you again. Thank you and John for being a part of this. And we'll see you soon. And I hope you have a great summer of vending and streaming and working in the hospital.
If we won't be at your shows, we'll be doing our whatnot things.
Right. I'll check you out on stream again. That was fun. It's really fun to see your like thrive in your personality really come out on stream. It's awesome.
But thank you. This is awesome. So we will see you in 10 days.
Yes. All right, girl. And thank you everyone in the chat.
Thank you guys, all my whatnot people. If you don't know about Domerex in New Jersey and New Jersey TCG, follow us both.
Yes. Like and subscribe and all the good things.
All the things against all the platforms.
Yes.
Click in. But nope, we will see you later. We'll see you in a week or two.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. I'm like, won't end.
And I'm like, how do we stop this?